Greetings, mamas. So, are you in a relationship where you absolutely adore your spouse or your partner, but you're just not feeling the juju in the bedroom? So, today I want to talk with you about a myriad of ways that you can spice things up in your bedroom with Feng Shui. I'm Althea, your Feng Shui coach and expert, and this is always a fun conversation, right? So, the first thing that I would want to say is, what is the feeling that you get, your intuition, your gut instinct, when you walk into your bedroom? How does it make you feel? So, is it a space that is basically just designed for sleep? Because, of course, we want to get good sleep. But we all know that's not the only thing happening in the bedroom, right? So, so you always want to find this nice balance between the yin and the yang, right? So, is your bedroom a really dark space? Are the walls dark? Is the bedding dark? Has sleep been your main priority? Well, if it has, that may have something to do with why you're not feeling inspired to do anything other than sleep in your space. Another thing to pay attention to is, has your bedroom become more like a storage unit, like where you just put all the boxes, leftover things that you don't want to deal with? Is it an incubator for children's toys? These are all things that could be signaling, this is not the place to get down. Okay, so if you do have a lot of just storage boxes and you want to spice things up, I would highly encourage you to just, deal with those boxes, break them down, move them to another spot. Just take care of them so that you are not feeling like your most intimate space is the kind of the last priority, because honestly, your bedroom is the biggest representation of you and your relationship with your partner. And it's very common for people to want to focus on the more public spaces because that's maybe where guests might be, or where you find yourself spending a lot of time and wanting to feel good in that environment. But in reality, your bedroom is actually where you spend 1/3 of your life, because you are sleeping and you are in the most yin state when you're sleeping, which means you are the most receptive to the energy around you. Okay, so let's prioritize the bedroom. Okay, and so another thing to pay attention to is there a balance of the elements in the bedroom? So if you have this very kind of dark yin space, it might end up feeling very cool, and you're not, if your room is very cool feeling, you're not going to feel that heat, right? That fire. And so one element to try to bring in would be the fire element, because that is very much connected to passion, right? So you can bring in more of those red tones. Different ways that I have done this in my own space is by bringing in, like rose-shaped pillows. They could be rose-shaped. They could also be the color red, so you could choose the shape or the color. I've also brought in like red rose candle holders, because roses are just a real symbol of romance, right? So that's just one idea. Now, the sky is the limit for what you can conjure up, but you can work with red tones. So you can work with artwork, bring artwork onto the walls. Like, are your walls empty too? So you might want to consider some kind of romantic image. It could be a painting. It could be abstract art, but with red tones. One nice image is like some sort of image of a couple in a really plush garden, you know, like walking along a pathway. You don't have to see faces. It could be their silhouettes, you know, something that is kind of like abstract, because you don't necessarily want pictures of other couples in your bedroom, right? You want to have the bedroom be the representation of you and your partner. But if you had like a symbol of two partners, that could be a really nice, subtle way of showcasing that this is a space, yes, for sleep and also for romance. And you can bring in candles, and you can bring in more of those triangular shapes. You can even use your pillows and like uh, press down in the center of the pillows to actually make them look a little bit more triangular. So that's like a symbol of fire. You also would want to pay attention to your relationship corner. What is happening there? Corners are often major incubators for clutter and just accumulation of personal debris, right? And so what is going on in your love corner? Now, if you don't know already, your love corner is the farthest right corner of your room when you're standing at your doorway. Okay, so just pay attention to what's there, and you know, is the space empty or is it cluttered? Like, you could have either way. If your space is empty, what is that saying about your relationship? Okay, so you can bring in, again, you know, anything in pairs throughout your bedroom is a great idea, because obviously pairs symbolize the relationship that you are in and that you are calling forth, or the quality of relationship that you want to have. Okay, so this is a great place to, again, put a picture, a really like beautiful picture of you and your partner, like something that you're both shining in, that you just absolutely love. It reminds you of a really wonderful time that you had with them, right? So you don't want it to be just any picture, like really something that showcases like a beautiful time or moment that you had with this beautiful being that you have chosen to spend your life with. Okay, so it could be a picture. I've mentioned in the past, like you can even have your wedding vows framed, or you could put them inside that picture frame as a representation of, you know, your bond with your partner. You can bring in two potted plants. You can work with the color pink. You can have like pinks or peaches. The relationship corner is also connected to the earth elements, so you can bring in more of the earth tones. You can bring in beiges and yellows, but also, you know, you could bring in crystals, especially rose quartz crystals are really symbolic of having compassion in your relationship. And a beautiful plant to work with is the orchid plant. Now, if you have, you know, low lighting in your bedroom, you could have an image of plants, right? Or you could get those really high quality silk plants. Now, I would always want to go towards a live plant, but if it does not work with the lighting in your space, you can get really nice silk plants that look real. Do not get the fake plastic plants, okay? Like those just do not look real. Okay, so you want this to look as real as possible. And studies have shown that even just looking at images of plants improves your mood, your emotional well-being. So, you know, the love corner is a perfect place to have a plant that, you know, you nourish, that's growing beautifully, that's symbolizing the beautiful relationship that you have. So bringing in life, right? So if your bedroom feels stale and kind of empty, finding ways to bring in more chi. So you can just bring in more plants too, because plants are just always about, they're symbolizing that growth, and you need to take care of your plants, just like you need to take care of your relationship. So it's symbolically sending the message that you have the capacity and the space and the time to cultivate this relationship just in the same way that you cultivate a plant, right? If you don't water the plant, it doesn't last. And that's the same thing with your marriage, your relationship. So these are just some, simple suggestions that you can try out. Pay attention to the colors in your room and notice if there's a dominance of just one color. And that can represent the dominance of just one element. And so you can bring in more of the elements: fire, water, metal, earth. And that way you have, a symbiotic relationship. It's sort of like a very strong ecosystem within your bedroom, which is really, we need a lot of that. We need a little bit of every element to create that balance in our lives. So go ahead and try any of these things and see. You could pick one so that you're not overwhelmed. You don't have to do all of them, but pick one thing you want to let go of, and one thing you want to bring in, and pay attention to how that shifts the energy and the dynamic in your relationship and how you feel in that space. Okay, so feel free to like this, share it, describe the feeling that you have about your bedroom in the comments below, and how you want to feel in your bedroom. I am all ears. I always love hearing your feedback. And have a sexy, soulful Feng Shui day.